Hey guys, Maps Mapunani here. Welcome to another episode of Modern Maps, and today we're looking at technology and we're looking at a couple iPhones in particular, and these are the iPhones that I've sort of been through and have taken through quite a tough time, to say the least. If you look at the back of this iPhone, this is my iPhone 4S, one of the first iPhones I owned, and it's got quite a history. And it's been through so much that if I had to tell you what it's been through, you'd probably say, what the hell, why does this guy even own a phone? This was one of those revolutionary iPhones in the smartphone market. And this is when iPhone was really making some big advancements. Then of course iPhone made that gradual step up to the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 5S. It was slightly thinner, a lot lighter than the iPhone 4, and this was the new kid on the block that everyone was talking about. But finally I've had the chance to get my hands on the brand new iPhone 6. I've also had a look at the iPhone 6 Plus, but the iPhone 6 is something that works a lot better in my life because it's far smaller than the iPhone 6 Plus, and it's just a lot more practical for me, and it has everything I need. If you compare the three, you can see that there's a gradual improvement or a gradual increase in size of the iPhones, and also inside there's a massive improvement in terms of the processor and the speed of each phone. When you line them up, you can see the gradual size increase. The diagonal from one corner to the other of the iPhone 4 measures at 3.7 inches, which is about 8.9 centimeters. The diagonal of the iPhone 5, which is slightly bigger, measures at 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. And the diagonal of the iPhone 6, the brand new iPhone 6, from one corner to the other is about 4.7 inches, which comes in at just under 11.95 centimeters. And the iPhone 6 Plus, to give you an idea of just how much bigger that is 5.5 inches long in terms of diagonal length, and that is 13.9 centimeters. So that's quite a monster of a phone, but the iPhone 6 Plus in particular is thinner than the iPhone 5, and they've moved the lock button from the top and moved it onto the side so that it's far more comfortable to use. It of course, just like all the other iPhones, comes in different colorways, and in this case I've got the gold back, the matte metallic gold back, I think that's what you would call it. I'm not such a fan though of the protruding camera. You know, all the other iPhones are very seamless when it comes to the camera on the outside, but this one sort of sticks out a bit, and I'm the kind of person who puts a phone on the back to prevent the scratching of the LCD, but that's my problem. If you of course are smart enough to get a cover, then that of course solves this issue over here. But I don't know, I just think it's I prefer when it's a lot sleeker and it's not sticking out. The display screen, however, is absolutely beautiful. This has 720 pixels HD display, and it's a wonderful screen just to look at. The resolution is super cool. Your landscape view is so much better because the screen is that much bigger. Everything just fits in a lot better. Your web browser fits in so much better. Your mail fits in a lot better. The apps open very quickly. So the phone is a lot faster. The Wi-Fi is a lot faster. There's a bigger Wi-Fi memory or processor of sorts in there. I don't know quite the technicalities of it, but it is faster. They definitely aren't lying to you on that one. And it just seems to be so seamless, and I love flicking through it all, and it feels quite good in your hand. I've got quite big hands, so maybe for most people it might be a bit of a step up from the iPhone 5. They might have preferred that in their hand, but this still fits quite nicely and it's comfortable for me. The phone comes in a 16 gig, a 64 gig, and a 128 gig. 16 gig is something that I think you would go through a bit too quickly. It's space that you'll fill up very quickly. iPhone has decided to ditch the 32 gig this time. 64 gig seems like quite a good medium, and the 128 gig is a lot of space. I don't really know if you'll use that much space, especially because there's a massive price jump from the 16 gig to the 128 gig. So the 64 gig is probably a nice medium to find, but if you're that kind of person who thinks that they'll fill it up very quickly, the 128 gig is for you. But my overall impression is that this is a great phone. Of course, using the iOS 8 system, it works a lot better on this than these two. I think iPhone has this conspiracy where they make sure that the new software works a lot slower as soon as there's an upgrade. on the old phone so that you can upgrade to the new phone. So you can definitely feel the difference on when the new operating system is a lot quicker on this than it is on these two. And now to what's probably the main event. Well, for me it's the main event. What I always want to know when iPhone puts out a new phone is, have they worked out good enough technology to make the battery life longer? Because they upgrade everything, the LCD display and the pixels, and it's a better camera and it's faster, but the battery is usually slower. Sorry, not slower. It's the battery life is usually a lot shorter, or it's pretty much the same. And in this case, the iPhone 6, it seems to be the same sort of battery life. Stats show that it's 10 hours longer talk time. That's according to iPhone, and it's marginally longer. I'm finding that this is lasting me a bit longer, but to be honest, for as long as I've had it, which isn't very long at all, I haven't really gotten much time to get super interactive with it. I'm not using it as much as I would like to, so that's why it's lasting me a bit longer than when I had my iPhone 4 or iPhone 5. So this is pretty much equal, but the iPhone 6 Plus is definitely a lot faster. I know a couple of people who've gotten their hands on that one, and they're so surprised at how the battery life of that is a lot longer than the others. Not that much, but it is a lot longer. And if you're the kind of person who's willing to sacrifice the size of the phone so that it lasts you a bit longer, because it is quite a large phone at that 5.5 inches diagonal that I mentioned earlier, 13.9 centimeters, then that's definitely the phone for you. Other than that, I think all in all, this is a phone that's definitely worth getting. It's nice and sleek. It's still small enough to just slip into your pocket. It fits in your hand nicely. It's just a lot smoother. It's a lot clearer. Besides maybe that camera, which has lost maybe it's a lot of its sleekness, but the quality is a lot better, and it's just a great phone to get. So I'd say if you're an iPhone fan, go for it. But they've seemed to, it's a bit of a debate that they've gone with that whole Samsung shape, their biggest competitor. But I'd say go for this phone. If you're a Samsung Android type of guy, then go for the Samsung Android. But if iPhone's where your heart lies, then definitely the iPhone 6 is worth it. Just don't sit on it. So there it is, guys, a very brief review and a very brief summary of the iPhone 6 and the iPhones over the years. Let me know what you think. Maybe you've managed to get your hands on the iPhone 6 or the Plus, and I'd love to get your comments and your tweets. For more modern maps, please make sure that you subscribe. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say and what you guys think. Until next time.